This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
For every veteran, there is a story about a calling to serve, to fight for the freedoms of the American people. And every story has a struggle, a sacrifice, and invisible wounds. Warrior Watts programs help veterans recover from PTSD and invisible wounds through exercise, nutrition, and connecting with other veteran leaders. It is estimated that 22 veterans die each day by suicide, and another 30 veterans die each day by substance abuse. These are preventable deaths. Warrior Watt is committed to fighting PTSD through fitness, nutrition, and community. Got the privilege and opportunity to support our heroes in their time of need. Will you join us and take action?
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation. MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at _MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the MisFitNation Show. It's your Sunday after dinner show. I know many of you have your eyes on the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens as they play for the last seed in the championship games. The Eagles and the Redskins the Commanders will be playing in the first game for the NFC. And, of course, the Chiefs will be playing the winner of this game. They'll be played in Arrowhead or Jihad Stadium now, as it's called now. So if you're watching us, we thank you for being here tonight. There's no end of watch for police officers tonight, thankfully, but we did lose a veteran to suicide, Lieutenant Colonel Tev Yoblik. He lost his battle with the darkness, and he'll be missed. He graduated Norwich University. He was a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, so he probably would have loved to watch the Eagles fly as they move on in the playoffs. So keep his family and friends and all his people in your thoughts and prayers as we move forward in life, because every day is a gift. Treat it as such, and know that every day you can be successful if you keep pushing forward and stay in the light. Tonight we have a great guest, also an Army veteran. He's the founder of Organic Grit. He has always approached challenges with resilience and purpose. He was born in Sydney, Australia, but raised in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. After immigrating here in 2000, his journey has been defined by service, grit, and commitment to positive change. So without further ado, let's welcome Alex Mikhailovsky to the MisFitNation Show. Welcome, Alex.
Hey, Rich. Thank you so much. Great intro, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you here. Hoya Saxa, since we're both Georgetown guys. And we're both Jersey guys. So I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey to begin with in my life. My family lives in Bloomfield now. You're from Elmwood Park. So we have the two connections right away, and then three with the Army. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the service and founding our Organic Grit. So, Alex, if you don't mind, tell the MisFitNation a little bit more about you from as far back as you want to go to how we got here, because I only gave you about a 2-sentence introduction there.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rich. So, hello, everyone. My name is Alex Mikhailovsky. Like Rich mentioned, family immigrated here. Actually, they immigrated from the Soviet Union. It was falling at the time, and then I was born in Australia, and then we moved here in 2000. Then 2001 happened. My father actually worked in one of the towers at Merrill Lynch.
Oh, wow.
He actually missed work. He was going across the bridge, and he forgot something at home, and he came back.
Damn.
And that's when, and then everything started popping off early in that morning. Past that, went to high school, Elmwood Park, graduated, and then went right into the Army. I joined the Army Reserves. I was there as a logistician, finished basic training, I believe it was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then AIT in Virginia. That was a great time. Then I went to University of Maryland, and I completed a finance degree from the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Great school. And if you want to talk about business and all things like that, especially we talk about organic grit and entrepreneurship, great to give tips and all this stuff to your audience as well. And then past that, graduated University of Maryland, deployed to Afghanistan in 2019 with the Combat Sustainment Unit. Did that for a while, then came back, founded Organic Grit, and then deployed again, went to East Africa with Joint Special Operations Task Force Somalia, was there for 15 months, doing a lot of work, and then also doing some humanitarian operations there for about 11 months at a refugee center, supporting them. And it's a lot of great work too. We can talk about that too. And then now I go to Georgetown in their MBA program, and I'm focusing on social impact. So when I graduate, ideally, I want to be in the international development space, focused on water, sanitation, hygiene type stuff. The U.S., we also have a lot of water issues, believe it or not. Our infrastructure is pretty old, but international development oversees their issues as well. So everyone gets love in that regard. And I'm here now.
Awesome. When you were in Afghanistan in 2019, did you stay till were you there in 2020 when it all ended, or were you already home?
Okay. So I left in 2019. So I left to country in 2019 in February, came back like in November, December.
Okay.
So I did not, when we were retrograding out, we just started retrograding, like, pulling our equipment back from outlying stations to like Bagram and HKaya and all those places, bringing it back. But it was just more or less the same thing. Rich, did you deploy to Afghanistan as well?
Twice, yes.
So they probably, I don't know what years you deployed, but they probably talked about retrograding or pulling back every year when new administration, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Right. So that was more or less what we were going through. And I was like, oh, okay. Is that happening? And then the old timers like, probably not. So, and then 2020 and then 2021, when I was mobilizing out for East Africa, I remember seeing the explosions at Abbey Gate at HKaya on TV. So that was that was really hard to see. But yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Afghanistan it was a wild country to be in. I was in Iraq first, and then I went to Afghanistan. So it's two different landscapes completely. And then for you, going from Afghanistan to Africa is two completely different landscapes as well.
Oh, yeah.
What was your biggest challenge going from Afghanistan and then doing your job in Africa as well?
So I would say there were completely different deployments right at that rate, because the Afghanistan deployment, that was a conventional unit, and then East Africa was soft, basically. So big boy, big girl rules there, and it was a lot more freedom to go around the base and then off post into Djibouti City, Somalia to some degree out, but not into like Mogadishu, but onto the compounds that they had at the international compound. But the cultural difference there, the people in East Africa, like Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya, they really enjoyed the U.S. presence, and they're interested in working, and they're fighting for things they believe in, and they really want to see a better for their country and their people. So that was a starker difference. I mean, Afghanistan, yes, they had like some patriots and stuff, but I think they were just exhausted. But yeah, no, those are the differences I see in between the two, my experiences.
You said you went to Fort Leonard Wood. What was your MOS actually in the Army?
92 Yankees, so unit supply specialist.
Supply specialist, okay.
Yeah.
So you did basic there, and then you went to Fort Lee? Fort Lee for actual AIT, okay.
Yeah.
So you got to go to Fort Lost in the Woods, and you got to go to Fort Lee, close to the beach, I guess, at Fort Lee.
Yeah.
And a better base there, I bet.
Oh, it was a lot better, man. Like it was, and there's a really good term, dilapidated. I don't know, to the term of what Missouri and Fort Leonard Wood was. And I really hope they destroy that barracks and everything else, because I swear there's like asbestos and like it was terrible, man. It was like not right. So yeah, big difference.
I think the common name for Leonard Wood is Lost in the Woods, because where it is, where it's located, it's in the middle of nowhere, really.
Middle of nowhere. Another planet, really.
Not really many people love it there, and if they do something, you might want to ask what's wrong with them at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel bad for people who are stationed there. I remember one of my buddies who was stationed there for like a year, and I was like, dude, that is so sad. But yeah, really sad. Yeah,
it's rough. Yeah, it's rough to be there. I had to go there for my senior NCO course. I went there. It's the only time I had to go to Fort Leonard Wood, and I hated it. I hated it completely. So,
what month did you go in? What time of year?
Thank you. I graduated November, so it was September through November.
Okay, so you still felt the heat.
Yeah, a little bit of heat.
A little bit of heat, yeah.
Wasn't as oppressive as the summertime, but
yeah,
it still wasn't beautiful and lovely as people call it when they live there.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So as you went through the military, of course you grew up in the great place, New Jersey, and you're heading towards the business world. You wanted to do the business world, and you started Organic Grit. Tell us how you came about founding Organic Grit and why.
Got it. So Organic Grit was founded in 2019. The idea, at the end of 2019, it was technically founded, but we only started operating like mid 2020 or towards the tail end of 2020. So Organic Grit, we're a CBD sales and advocacy company, right? So we sell CBD products, right? But then we also have an advocacy portion. But the reason why Organic Grit was started, why I, and along with some veterans and my brother started Organic Grit, was because of, well, the issues are the stuff we carried with us from that deployment and when we came home, and coupled with the beginnings of the lockdown and no reacclimation or proper demobilization, we were like, and I was especially like, well, I need to find some natural ways to combat what I'm dealing with, symptoms of depression or post-traumatic stress at this point that, years later I figured out. How do you deal with it without using substance abuse, from whether it be alcohol or just drugs? I mean, like, and being in at the time too, I had to be careful. And now that I'm out, I can say this, that, you don't want to, and if there's any active duty folks here, just being real, you don't want to go to using your TRICARE to someone saying like, hey, like I have an alcohol problem or these mental health problems. It's bottom line. I mean, as much as they say, it's going to get you, there's going to be like a target on you, at least personally, how I see it. So you try to handle it in-house. So I was trying to figure that out, and I discovered CBD as being a natural alternative solution in which it puts down symptoms of anxiety, symptoms of depression. And I was taking all sorts of, samples from different farms and different manufacturers and trying to figure out the ideal one for me. And then I realized, well, we can just put this and manufacture our own product and then sell it to, US and then also post-service members or even current service members as well, at least our broad spectrum one with no THC in it. And it can help them as opposed to using substance. So we partnered with a single farm in Wisconsin, and we grow a single strain of Hawaiian Haze, Hawaiian Haze hemp. And this way we control the quality and, consistency of the product to, input into, the products we have, from gummies, oils to salves. And then we test it in Colorado, third party test it, to then show the purity, the potency, and the effectiveness. Everyone can scan the QR code on their products and it can pull up that lab report. And then we donate a portion of our proceeds to veteran 501c companies like Veterans Adventure Group and Patrol Base Abate. And yeah. That's
what was the Patrol Base one? Patrol Base what?
Patrol Base Abate, PB Abate, ABBATE. And in Veterans Adventure Group, they're a great organization. They take veterans out on extreme excursions, connecting veterans like through community to go get after, continue getting after. So we're doing like mountaineering on Mount Hood, and going into like Mount Rainier. They were just in South America and Aconcagua, and from mountaineering to even skydiving to kayaking, like just really like tough shit. Just, I don't know if I can curse here, but tough stuff. You know what I mean? And it's good stuff. And I love it. And I love going out with them. But every time I go out with them and mountaineer with them, we always get a blizzard. And so this is like the second time we're on a mountain and we're freezing and we need to turn back. And they look at me like, Alex, bro, every time you come, we can never summit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So this year, if I go again, hopefully it's not going to be a blizzard and hopefully we can summit. But from Mount Hood to Mount Rainier, we had to turn around once we got halfway or a little bit more.
And where are they based out of?
So they, I would say they're based out of like Washington, state of Washington, but they got representatives and team members across the country. Okay. Really good experts from like I said, mountaineering, skydiving, and all of them are veterans. The mountaineering expert, he's a former Ranger, and then the founder of the company, Justin M. His last name I don't want to pronounce because I'm going to chop it up. He's, I think he was a combat medic. I don't want to mess it up, but he did a lot of work and he's a great guy. And if you ever want to talk to him, connect you with him. He's awesome. He was on Fox News. He was on a few other TV stations, and he really has a good mission, really solid individual, and his team.
Definitely send him our way. And that way we can not only learn about him, but get his organization out there to other veterans so that maybe they can, if they're out there especially, can jump in and do those expeditions and hang out and and maybe breathe a little easier and stay
Yeah,
with us.
absolutely.
We got a question from one of our Tuesday crew guys, Jake Holland. He says, if I'm understanding correctly, it's just CBD, not THC. How does this affect random testing in the workplace?
Nice. That's a good question. So one thing for Organic Grid, we have blog posts and we answer a lot of questions online, and that's a common one. So most drug panels, they test for like methamphetamines, THC, and some other like hard drugs, right? CBD is not really on their spectrum, right? But who knows, right? You would ask your workplace really, what is it that, and you could be honest with them, like, what is it on your panel that you're testing for? And if they are saying we're testing for these methamphetamines and all that and THC and not CBD, then you would take a broad spectrum, right? So in the CBD world, there's full spectrum and broad spectrum. Full spectrum has 0.03% THC, and then broad spectrum has 0% THC. Now, the difference between the two, THC with CBD, that small amount of THC with CBD, creates an entourage effect that amplifies the effects of, anxiety reducing effects and even pain reducing effects through your endocannabinoid system. Everyone has one. The broad spectrum side, it eliminates the THC. Some people, their body reacts a little different with a little bit THC, and as well as people on the drug panel portion, they just want to avoid all of that nonsense together. So, but yeah, that's a little bit a long answer, but I would ask your job what exactly on their panel they test, and if they're just testing THC and methamphetamines, all that stuff, I would just stick with broad spectrum, which has 0% THC.
Okay, I think that's a good answer for them. And then his partner, Steve Cagney from there, are there products for joint pain and to help sleep?
Absolutely. So, these are also really, really good questions. So salve, we have two products. We have salve and a roll-on. These two complement each other, but they are both used for joint, muscle pain, tissue, all this stuff. So like, let's say you get after you do CrossFit, did some legs the next day, usually it takes 2 days for pain to hit. You can apply it the next day, the same day, and then the day you're feeling the pain. It will reduce the inflammation. It goes through the skin layer and decreases the inflammation from there. Now for sleep, people have two things that they issue that deal with sleep, right? So one, you can have pain, physical pain that keeps you up. So salve can help you, right? But then some people have, ruminating thoughts, anxiety, these things that they keep them up. Then you would want to use like an oil or a gummy. You take it orally, and then it goes into your body. It depends, on your endocannabinoid system, also your height, weight type stuff. But those two products, gummies and oil, would be for sleep, and then salve and roll-on would really be for pain. But again, mentioning if pain is what keeps you up, you would want to use salve and roll-on. You know what I mean? So
definitely. I think that'll, for him, I know he's had pain for a long time, it might help him a lot.
And check this out. Also,
his knees. So does it help that?
Yeah, absolutely. And also we developed and this is introducing like the business mindset of it all, because a lot of people, when they look at CBD, they're like, what is CBD? Is it for me? And then you look at the products, right? Now, for some people, $39.99 is quite a bit. I mean, it really is big, especially in the economy right now. You're like, okay, what is something I really need? I need food. I don't need like pain relief. I'll just keep thugging it out, honestly. So we developed a sample program where you can just go get like two packets of salve. We put them in individual, really nice sample packs and send them off for you for free. Or if you want gummies as well, try them out for free. Or our oils, try them out for free. And this way you can identify what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And then you can go ahead and make a purchase if you'd like. And there's most likely going to be a discount code in your package as well. But this way it gives more allowance to people who are curious, but don't know what is right for them at the moment, because CBD still is being newly discovered to a lot of people. So it's great stuff, but we want to try to get as many people introduced to it as possible.
Definitely. We got another question. Seems like this is from someone active duty. I jump from planes for fun on X. Will this product make me get kicked out of the military?
So in regards to CBD in the military and their drug testing, I would personally recommend not to use it, because you don't know, what they're exactly testing for. We all, when we're doing these UPLs, they go through the list of things that they test, and they explicitly say don't use CBD. But the reason why they say don't use CBD is because some CBD companies and their products are not tested. And then their THC, there is a high level of it to be detectable. And then they don't want soldiers to come out and say, oh, and they really smoke marijuana, to say, oh, no, I use CBD, not THC. And it's like, dude, we can't tell the difference. So now you're getting, UCMJ action out. Personally, I would recommend not to use it because I'm risk adverse. So I don't like to do that stuff. So personally, do not. When you get out, go right after the natural solutions. I know the VA would give you pharmaceuticals. Great. Do that. See if that works for you. But go after a natural solution, in my opinion.
Awesome. Steve said, give you his info. He'll try it for free. So
yeah,
it's not a good business model for you if he does that. But at Jamiroquai on Google, he says, your journey has taken you from military service to entrepreneurship. How did your time in the Army and your deployments shape your approach to founding Organic Grit and your mission to promote resilience and wellness?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the military, that ingrained into me prioritization, ingrained into me teamwork, and being able to work and communicate with different people from different walks of life, right? So like Afghanistan's one place, East Africa's another, working with different sets and different units. Having that talent, which a lot of people probably listening to this call as well, you have it. You do it all the time, even if you work with sister branches like the Air Force and Navy. Taking that skill and then going after something you're very passionate about, and for me at the time it still is to combat these symptoms that our community deals with, especially that I deal with, in a natural way that doesn't hurt us in the long run. And if you're so passionate about something like that, you can get after it, and there are plenty of resources, but you need to start with that why. And I don't know, Rich, if you heard that of that book, Start With Why. Great book, and I read that in 2019 and when I was in Afghanistan too. And it is just awesome. You start with why, not the how, the what, the why. Because then when you run into roadblocks, when you run into like funding issues, when you run into days that you're tired, the why is what will keep you going, and the why is what keeps the other people around you going as well. Because you have to believe in that mission, and so do they. And yeah, and then along with a finance degree and like a little business background too, and doing a master's of business administration now, that helps, but it's not all critical to have those education sets.
And Start With Why is by Simon Sinek. He has a lot of products out there. That is a very good book. I think it's on my bookshelf behind me right now as well. Mm-hmm. If not in this one, it's one in the other room. Very good book and a very good job. I put the link in the chat, so if everyone's motivated, they can go ahead and buy that book as well, or check it out at least, see if it's for them. And we got another question as we're talking at FDaydem on X. The one farm, one strain philosophy is a unique aspect of Organic Grit. Yeah. What inspired this approach, and how does it ensure the quality and effectiveness of your products?
Yeah, so one farm, one strain, right? That was introduced. The beginning of this operation, we were doing it. We didn't really know we were doing it, and to amplify it in that way. So what I noticed through the landscape is that a good amount of CBD companies, they take from a wide range of hemp plants, and they're not really sure the strain that they have. So then the quality that the customers are getting, it could be varying. And personally, and the team wise, we don't really sit well with that. So when we push that approach of saying one farm, one strain, that shows that we are sticking with like quality and consistency. We're sticking with our group and team we know that are also veteran owned in Wisconsin, that our product is always going to be the same every time you get it. And if one guy has one thing to say of it, most likely you're going to be getting the same result. This way we can also trace the quality as well. And if there's something that needs to be improved, or we can create something, we know what we have to work with. It's not going to just be this pile of randomness, and we're unable to trace it. So that helps a lot,
And when you were doing your research on the strands and such like that, how in depth did you guys go? And did you visit each farm to see who had the best product, or did you just go by I guess, interviews like we're doing right now?
So so it's in whichever business you would want to start, and you want to try to identify suppliers and you want to try and identify business partners in this. It's it's tedious, and you're going to go through a lot of iterations, a lot of phone calls, a lot of mail. I was getting a lot of like random packages, different, like very questionable ones, and then like working with this stuff to identify what was the best. And I didn't try all of them. You have to see what criteria you're looking for in your supplier, right? And if all the check boxes are made. And then in regards to the strain specifically, Hawaiian Haze has a way that it doesn't put you like out. It's more of a upper type strain. It gets you focused, builds your creativity, but then it also at a different rate will put you down like you're on your anxiety and your focus level. So then you can go to sleep. So yeah, that's how we picked our Hawaiian Haze strain. And then also it's easier to grow and it's consistent in its quality as well.
And obviously you've built a partnership with the farm, and
Oh yeah,
you guys hopefully have a good relationship, and if they'll tell you if anything's going wrong.
absolutely.
Especially since you said that, I think Wisconsin, so they do get cold up there, and they might lose some of that strain due to cold.
Yeah. So what happens, like with that, they grow and then they're harvest, and when they harvest, they put them in a drying shed and all this, and they make the batches of oil over time. But yeah, it gets cold, but then they have the harvest season, and then it goes back the following year, and then they grow, cut it down, dry it, and then extract it. We use ethanol extraction, not CO2, but ethanol, they're both more or less, they have their pros and cons, but we use ethanol extraction for that.
Okay, awesome. We got another question on from @Merc_till_dead on Google. Balancing business, education, and social impact is no small feat. How do you manage pursuing your MBA at Georgetown while growing organic grit and supporting international development projects?
Rich, first I got to say the amount of like great questions your audience is giving is very impressive, and I love this. This is great.
Awesome.
Thank you all for these questions. Really. So
thanks, Merc.
So balancing all of this, right? That goes back into doing things you love, right? So in the military at the beginning, I know all of us, we probably went through it. You're doing things you don't like, but then after a while, you go higher and higher in the atmosphere, right? And you deal with less stuff, and then you go higher, and then you forget what, the bad stuff is, right? But you have to get through that. But then once you realize you have to get control in that way and understand that time is limited, especially if you experience, some hardships in deployments, you can see what extremeness that can provide and lessons as well. You understand that time is limited and you want to do everything that you would like to do in this life. So I lean forward in the philosophy of do things that you want to do and not things that you don't, and especially for things that other people want you to do. Now, juggling all of these things, like from MBA to the business to international development career, first you need to be unemployed, which I am. So all I'm doing is focusing on school, my business, and then international development. So use your GI Bill. That's for first and foremost. So use your GI Bill. That's there for you. You can go to the va.gov and apply and make sure you're eligible for it and get that in, or use VRNE. If you guys don't know what that is, it's for vocational rehabilitation and employment. They will pay for school. It's not an education bill, but more or less it. But if you want to know more, you can hit me up and I can tell you about it. But that benefit is afforded to us veterans in ways we can focus on what we love to do or would like to do, and then find a better purpose or a purpose after the military. That's how I see it. That's how I utilize it. Having that approach. And and time management, I guess, and using Google Calendar, especially. I learned that.
Yeah, Google Calendar is like that little "Hey, I'll help you out at all times" button, easy button, I like to call it. It helps out on a lot of things, so that's Big awesome. And you said earlier that you're looking to talk about the international thing, international development, water purification, or clean water for all.
Yep.
Have you thought about getting into USAID and such like that?
Yeah. So USAID is a great organization. I know right now, given the new administration that's coming in, the Trump administration, there's some saying that, well, we're going to cut a lot of international development projects, but I don't really think that's going to be the case. We're going to see how everything shakes out I know he's all about saving money and not giving it to people who are not, respecting our country. And I'm all for that. But USAID is an organization that was developed, I think, and founded by John F. Kennedy. And that way we can go and do these projects overseas. These countries then realize what great things we do. Then they'll support us in the future should we need their assistance, resources, all this stuff. It's a great relationship builder. You're doing good for others, and they recognize seeing that American flag on the, water purification system that we just installed in their village, or like the solar panels or whatever else. They're like, you know what? I like the U.S. I'm going to go give them information about Al-Shabaab here in Somalia. You know what I mean? And it's just a cycle where it supports us. We help them. They help us. Now, to work for them personally, no, I don't want to, because it's a government organization. I had my share, 11 years of it, and it's better to be personally on the private side. And you're a contractor right now. You know how much more freedom and creativity you have on your end to do that. But working with them, they are the money. So they give out contracts to international development organizations like Chemonics or Tetra Tech. These are consulting organizations that win those contracts and then implement them overseas. Those are the organizations I want to be a part of or found my own in the future once I get the hang of that arena, for a lack of a better term.
Definitely. And I think for you, especially where you're sitting right now, going to Georgetown, pursuing your degree, and of course the international relief area of water purification and clean water for all.
Yep.
I would suggest to you get involved with USGLC, United States Global Leadership Conference. Oh yeah. And I think you'd be perfect for them. Look them up, USGLC, and they have a conference right there in DC every June. I go up every June. You get to talk to Congress. You get to talk to your congressman about the issues, about veterans especially. And especially for you, you'll see everything that USAID is doing in those conferences and everything you just said, all the organizations you just mentioned are usually at those conferences as well.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. I did not know that. Thank you so much. I'm going to look into them after this call, or put on the calendar looking at tomorrow and see, how I can attend those events as well. It's just the beginning of the year, so that's great.
You can become part of their Veterans for Smart Power, and then you get in with them just like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Rich.
I think you'll be a perfect fit with what you're doing and your goal for the future. I think it's all aligns well with you.
Yeah, I can tell you something else I'm doing in Georgetown that's pretty awesome. When I was looking at graduate programs, I saw that Georgetown did this, and it was awesome. So they do pro bono, so free consulting for small businesses in a DMV area, so DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So they take interviewed students, guys with skills, experience, stuff like that, and then they make these teams and they send them out, and they push them out to these small businesses like the one I'm dealing with right now. It's called Milestone Therapeutics. It's a pediatric center in DC, and they're trying to solve some problems, and they're giving it to us, and we're consulting them, and we're going to improve that for them for free over a 12-week period. And that's awesome because Georgetown is then supporting the community around them. And that's a great, reputational positive for Georgetown, but then we're also giving back to the community. And I just love that stuff. It's really good. I learned a lot. And then, it's a great experience overall.
It definitely is. And I believe Georgetown has a great nest egg there with where they sit in Georgetown, right there, right outside the Capitol, right outside the buzz. As we were talking in the green room before we came on, right now the buzz is huge right there. Oh yeah, with the inauguration happening tomorrow, all the balls are coming up. They're starting today, tomorrow, the next day. So you probably, right? We were talking earlier. You can't walk right now without knowing someone's watching you and knowing someone's there. Yeah. But when that's all over, there's still so many hands you can shake and get things done up there if you have the right mindset and do the right thing. So I think you're in a perfect spot to get your dreams, your goals to align and move forward.
Absolutely, Rich. I absolutely agree with that.
And again, we have another question. This is from Sally, not Sam, 34 on Twitch. As someone who has experienced the transformative potential of CBD, what advice would you give to others seeking healthier ways to recover and heal, especially those in high stress or service-driven professions?
So, okay. So first, if you're dealing with stress and all that, recommend, CBD, 100%. Try it out, see what it is. But in regards to, other ways to deal with, this high level stress environments, I always keep active as much as I can. My left knee is like really in poor condition after the military. I still managed to do an ultra marathon last year in November. It's a John F. Kennedy 50 miler. But now when I took 2,000 milligrams of naproxen, even using CBD, it was a lot to push through. It was very painful. But nonetheless, that's extreme. Don't need to do that. But do something consistent over time every day, like go to the gym, do cycling, meditate, yoga. But just pick one and then just push on, do it consistency and consistently. And you will see like the results of it. It's not going to go, it's not going to happen overnight, but doing it, day after day and seeing your improvements, it would work. But just take it a piece at a time. But I would truly recommend physical activity. CBD, for example, it's a complement in recovery and complement in like dealing with everyday pains. Not one thing ever in any part of your life will be solved with one thing. Pharmaceuticals, absolutely not. CBD, absolutely not. Working out by itself, absolutely not. If it's a combination, a holistic approach. And my approach in life is to take it in a natural way as best as I can, not doing the 2,000 milligrams of naproxen, but pushing into a natural way.
Awesome. Questions keep rolling in tonight. I guess you got everyone waking up tonight. This is awesome. So at Khan on X or Twitter, what was the biggest challenge you faced transitioning from the military service to entrepreneurship?
So I founded Organic Grit while I was in the service. I had to not participate in it completely or have ownership while I was in because of it being CBD. So my brother was the owner at the time. So I would only deal with nonprofit work in there. But transitioning from the military to doing entrepreneurship, it was pretty straightforward. And I can also say this, right? If you're a veteran or a current service member and you want to start a business, do it. Start a business plan, right? First, and you know what? How would I put this in a best approach? Because it is a good question. Look this system up. It's called the Business Model Canvas. You can look it up on Google and download a template for free, or a filled out one so you can see what to put in those inputs. Keep that on the side, right? Identify first what your business is, what you want to do, and why you want to do it. When you do, take that business model canvas and fill that out. It goes over suppliers, what's your product, what's your channels you're going to sell, what your customers are like, and a bunch of areas. And that canvas will move and develop over time. But it's great to lay it all out there, get it out of your head and put it on a piece of paper. And then going back to the military aspect, thank God, the U.S. military is really, really taken care of here, believe it or not, compared to other countries. And we have a really good respect in our communities to us. So if you're a veteran-owned business and you go into a community and say, hey, I'm a veteran-owned business, I have X, Y, and Z, you're going to get more eyes and more listening to you because they know the experience and the knowledge that comes behind it. Because not only are you a veteran, a service member, you're now a business owner. So they're going to trust you. So it comes with great opportunity in that regard. So if you're a veteran or a current service member and you want to start a business, absolutely do it. Do it in that framework to some degree. And anyone here who has questions further past, you can go on organicgrit.com. There is an HQ. Contact us. You can just be like, hey, I want to talk to Alex. Yeah, I heard him on a podcast, and I'll get those emails up. I'll get out time, and we can chat. I can answer your questions as well.
Awesome. I put Business Model Canvas in the chat, so they can just, that way, if they forgot what you said, I put it in there. They can go on Google and search. I just searched it. It pops up with like 8 million templates right away. So you can get on there and use that template and start your business and get your LLC, EIN, and start moving forward.
Yeah.
We got another question from Car No One on Google. How do you see the role of CBD evolving in the wellness industry over the next few years?
Mm-hmm. Now, is the question, how do you see the CBD evolving, or on Google's the platform where he?
The Google is where he messaged me.
Okay.
So how do you see the role of CBD evolving?
Got it. Now, this will depend on the current administration for 4 years, right? Is what we have with Trump and his people. and over the next few years, I guess, would be in that frame. So we have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right? That's his name. He is very into the natural approach of things, moving us more onto the European model of like deleting these additives and all these stuff that's in our foods and giving us a lot of these ailments. So that's great. And then I think Trump also put Dr. Oz, I think, into some role. And he is also into plant-based medicine, which is great. Pharmaceutical companies, they don't like this. But you know what? The show's over. I mean, really, we are fed up with it, and it needs to be more of a natural approach. So in that rate, I believe we're going to be fine, and it's going to be improving to a point where you can actually see us being sold at like Walgreens openly. Like right now, we're working on trying to sell at CVS and other places like that. It's just a challenge with regulatory and how the labeling is displayed. You have to say hemp instead of CBD. But I don't want to say, we don't want to say this because it's like hemp oil is different than CBD oil. It can mean a lot of things. It's very broad, but it's going to evolve in a positive way where people can actually get the natural solutions, and you won't have to rely on just pharmaceuticals or a doctor or substance abuse to relieve pain, whether it be mental or physical. It's going to improve. I see it still upward trending in a positive way.
Awesome. That's a great answer to that question. And thank you, everyone, for the questions tonight. These have been awesome. We have one more, and this is probably the last one I'll bring up to you since we're at 45 minutes now. So this is from Alex93 We Win on X. If you could describe your journey, this is about you personally. So in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say my journey has been one of gratefulness. I can say my life, post Afghanistan, it changed a lot about me. I see things differently. I even taste things differently. Things in life has been different. But I can say over time, I've learned to be grateful. And then I've all the opportunities, places I've been now, and people I've communicated with. It's been a moment where I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful every day when I wake up and continue to have like conversations like this with Rich and you guys all. So gratefulness.
And Alex, I mean, you've been to Afghanistan and to East Africa. Both places, the people there are not living the standard of life we live here in the United States. So you got to see things that most people don't get to see. You got to see people suffering. You got to see people at their wits' end, really. And now you can come back and use the word gratefulness. And that's awesome that you can understand that you're grateful for everything you have and everything that your family provided for you and everything that you're providing now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Yes.
Jake from our Tuesday crew said his personal opinion is this is going to skyrocket under RFK's leadership. He's thinking he will champion this 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't wait. Monday comes. Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow.
So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this all pans out. I hope for the best for them.
So I hope you send us pictures of what's going on in DC tomorrow, and so we can see it from your eyes. And we're all. I'm in Tennessee. Jake's in Kentucky. My brother's in New Jersey still. So, and everyone else they're spread around the world. Karishma, who asked the question earlier, she's actually in Nepal. So that's we have a loyal following in Nepal, and it's awesome to have them there. And they ask questions every show, so it's awesome there. So
nice.
If you can send us those questions, send us pictures. If you get out there tomorrow into the crowds of insanity tomorrow, that's going to be up to you.
I can tell you, Rich, they were going to do it on a national mall, but since tomorrow it's going to be 10 degrees, they moved everything. So there's no one in the national mall. They're all inside this convention center. They're going to do it. There probably just going to be packs of people on the street trying to line in there. It's going to be cold. I'll see if I can get out there and get some photos for you.
All right, brother.
It's going to be freezing.
Awesome.
I feel for them.
If you could, Alex, now what we do with our guests at the end of every show is we ask them 3 things that they can tell the MisFit Nation they can start tomorrow to be more successful in life. What would those three things they be for you?
I would say, okay, one of those things would be, and I mentioned it a few times here, prioritization and like organization. So with that, if you have an iPhone, one thing I picked up over time is when you're communicating with people and they give you good information. Put it down in your notes or in your reminders. So you actually use that, because people always, like we were talking about the business model canvas or start with why. You're having this great, information points given to you, but we're so inundated by information on our phones, on billboards, on screens, on advertisements, that we forget and we move on. Write that stuff down. So then at the end of the day, you can brief it and then go out, get after it the next day. Being organized and seeing progression in your days, it really helps me. And I think it would help your audience as well. The second thing I would say is, like we mentioned, physical fitness. That plays a serious role in your mental health, physical health as well. Dopamine levels, they get released when you're, working out, running, what have you. It's just facts. It's science. That's how it works. So if you need to just walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes, walk. If you want to go row, bike, or lift heavy weights and CrossFit, go get after it. Something, move your body. And then third, always try to educate yourself and improve yourself. If you want, pick up a book, read one, and get it done before the end of the year. I know some people, they could read books every month. If you want to just get one, learn something. Because if as soon as you just stop learning something, everything starts to blend into one, and you believe like, well, these days, I don't know what I did yesterday or last week, because you're not, really stimulating your mind. So stimulate your mind, move your body, and stay organized, I guess, going backwards,
Oh yeah, learn and grow daily. You gotta learn and grow daily. Once you stop learning, you become stagnant. And
True.
I think that hurts a lot of people. So Alex, this has been an awesome chat. It went by really quick. What's the best way for the audience to get in contact with you?
Absolutely. So if you go to organicgrit.com, and if you guys have any questions, you can just go there and contact us, and you're like, hey, I got a question for Alex, and then they'll forward it to me and I can answer it to you. So yeah, that would be a good place. You can link with me on LinkedIn if you have that. You just look up my name, Alex Mikhailovsky. And I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, brother. It was a great chat tonight. Thanks for taking some of your time on a Sunday night while you're studying and in the hubbub of what's going on in Washington, D.C. tonight. I'm jealous. I wish I was up there in the cold, maybe standing in line, get in the convention center just to feel that vibe that's going on up there right now. It's probably amazing. It's something that everyone should witness at least once in their life, the inauguration of our president of the United States. So if you can get out there, or if you can't, at least take some pictures of us for us, and we'll look forward to that, brother.
Absolutely. And I would say, when I was walking around today, even though there is a lot of security, Secret Service and things barred off, and just a complete maze, a lot of the supporters of Trump from throughout the country are here, and just positive vibes, man. No one's mean mugging anyone. Everyone's just like, hello, what's up, being very respectful, giving each other room, and it's great. So like I don't feel any like it's an awesome experience. So I love how everything's turning out. There is some counter protest going on, but the bad vibes are not really killing the overall positive, so it's all right.
Awesome. And if you need any more information on USGLC, just reach out to me. I'll help you out with that.
Thank you so much, Rich. I really appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
You too.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.